Hey, for client check-in, I just wanted to reach out a little bit early. Valentine's is tomorrow, so I want to be sure that you have a plan. And I also wanted to share a little bit about the weekend. So I told you, and I invited all of you to come with me to the retreat that was in St. George. It was absolutely incredible. I have never experienced anything like that before. One of the things that we did, we learned about the nervous system and some different things there. We had a demonstration on horses. And there's this guy, his name's Hugh, and he has worked with the Underground Railroad and like several other documentaries. And one of the things that he's really tapped into and is his strength at this point is learning about that nervous system and how we all kind of have that self regulation. And it was so fascinating because we talk about the brain with Dr. A's life book. It talks about the different parts of the brain. We have your prefrontal cortex, we have our limbic system, we have, and like with the limbic system, it's like fight or flight or freeze. Those are some of the really reactionary types of things that happen when we're in survival mode. So they had two horses. One of them was a wild horse that was just 2 weeks that they had that horse. And what Hugh was trying to do is teach this new horse, the wild horse, how to self-regulate. So the difference between our brains and their brains is that we have a prefrontal cortex. That's the main difference. So one of the things that they did was he showed us how the horse was that he had worked with for a while was regulated, how his ears were just soft, and they would sometimes move to listen to things, but they weren't like straight up hard. And then he talked about the eyes of the horse and how they were soft as well. And then he talked about how the neck of the horse wasn't like straight up, and he wasn't going up and down with his neck. And that what he was doing was he was self-regulated, that the horse was able to control his emotions, and that he rarely even moved his feet. So the feet of the horse is like keeping them grounded, and it's like a very like they're very particular with what they do with their feet. So these newer horses, the ones that are wild that he was trying to train, he wanted to teach the horse how to self-regulate its emotions, and they named it Atlas, and it was after Brené Brown's book Atlas of the Heart, which was really cool. I've read that. It's amazing. It's a great book read. So until so this new horse who has all of his emotions on the surface, his feet were constantly moving. And what he did was he took time to help the horse have willful surrender and inner stillness. It was such a perfect demonstration of what it means when Christ said, "Peace, be still in the storm." So it was a really cool analogy, and used some cool references that were just, I'd never thought of some scriptural references that way in the New Testament. So, through this entire process, there's different ways to train horses. He called it the horse whisper, and that is a different method. He's like, it's not just whispering at the horse. He's like, I'm teaching it not through harm, because there are trainers who will harm the horses, whip them, or do different things to make them comply. And there's a difference between that and having a horse that is in emotional control. So through the whole entire process, the horseman was gentle, loving, encouraging, supportive of the horse and its internal struggle. And he wasn't like pushing it to be faster. He was allowing the horse to just do its thing. And the horseman also gave boundaries and discipline, but never punishment, and pointed out that while punishment may get the results you want, it never produces the same excellence in character as the self-discipline from the horse and the managing the horse's own emotions. So I I really associated with myself with both. There were times when I felt like I've been the horse, and there was times when I felt like as a mom that I've been that the handler. And I just kind of want you to think about this. I know this is a super long client check-in text, but I wanted to share with you these things because this absolutely has to do with our self-regulation. So when the horse is unregulated, the feet are all over the place. The head is constantly going up and down. You know, the scripture that says a stiff-necked horse, that's literally what it means, is like the stiff-neckedness of the horses. And the ears were going crazy. The eyes were bright-eyed and poppy. So it was really struggling to find that inner peace. And it would just go back and forth and back and forth. And I have some cool videos. Also send a picture out, but it was incredible to witness how patient Hugh was with the horse and how the horse just kind of took its time. Sometimes it kept going back and forth a little bit less. What Hugh did is he ended up tying up one of the feet of the horse. And so it was like only on 3 legs. And then he put another rope around the horse onto the other one and kind of continued to kind of pull that tighter in just little increments, just like not too much, not too little. And just like eventually it came to where it was pretty tight. And then the horse laid it down and just like was surrendered. It was just incredible. He said the first time he does that, often it's 5 hours long time. It was the second time he had done it. And it was just, it really changed the way, like, I can't describe it. So it was incredible. Hope that you guys come to another event. You never know what you're going to get because it's life-changing. And I'm just so grateful for the times that I can see myself doing the same thing as Atlas the horse. And there's times too when I can shift into that inner peace. And I think meditation is such a gift. There was a lady, her name is Jen Oxford, and she actually was I sent out a client text last week and I don't think it went through. And it was Jen Oxford teaching. And so maybe I'll put it again in the details of this video. But she was teaching about different ways that we seek control. And she was there at the event and she was talking about some different things, but just saying, Optavia, it allows people to go through and have that self-discipline to self-regulate, to be able to, as they really use all 4 components, create change. And that change is so possible for each of us. We may have some habits that don't serve us, but it really truly is possible. So I just wanted to kind of share my experience. That was kind of a long one. Tomorrow, and you have to know what you want. Who was I talking to? I don't know. It's easy to focus on what you don't want. So really shift into that focus of what you do want. And tomorrow's Valentine's. So what do you want for Valentine's? How would it be to really focus on the love that you have for someone versus the food? And so just kind of finding ways. So call me today, which is Monday, if you can. I'd rather do client check-ins today. I have classes I'm helping out with my kids during the day tomorrow. And so I do have pockets of time, but not very many. So I'd rather get as many as I can done today. And I don't want to end up doing that tomorrow night. And then we also have the webinar tonight. So just let's see if we can get in touch. And I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'll also put some recipes in the text that I send out. And I hope that you guys have a beautiful day. Think about your nervous system and what different, another way that he would give dopamine. This is the other part I didn't mention about the horse. So we did all those things that I shared, but he also would lick his lips. And when he would do that, it would give dopamine for him. So the trainer, Hugh, would reference like, that's him going to Amazon Prime, or that's him, looking at some porn or whatever. So like the dopamine hits that we escape the uncomfortable moments with, they're a real thing. And how do you buffer? Because all of us do it. Our brains can't be on a times 10 all the time. It has to take breaks. So what ways do we buffer that serve us? Because you can have some ways that serve you, and which ones do not. So I just kind of want you to think about that. Let me know if you have any takeaways from what I shared. And I just care about you guys so much. And I hope you have an amazing day. You're invaluable right now. That horse Atlas, he was no less valuable as a horse at all in any regard. But it was beautiful to see him find that inner peace. So anyway, have a great day.